you don't need acceleration. Maybe you're like me, you're already living a little ways beyond time, and it just keeps skipping and jumping, you know, and you jump ahead now in leaps and bounds and don't even know you're doing it till you recognize time ain't keeping up with you, you know, or you're not keeping up with it or something, but wow, it's just coming undone, see? As you come into conscious presence, the awareness of your being in creation, well, time quite naturally does dissolve away because your presence is love and it's there always, just like Mama. It's the very essence of creation, the same love replicated in all of us, this dynamic of truth, lived as a truth here in this opening day we call Trippin' Tuesday, and dish it out the Coyote way. Yes, indeed it is. This is why sometimes people call me Grandfather of Love, because, you know, my grandpas, you know, give you a pause for the cause. There's love radiating right out through those things all the time. You know, that's why they stay warm most all the time, you know. Not saying don't get a little cold and shivery when it's 20 below and shit. Gotta have gloves and stuff, you know, but basically the grandpas of love, man, you know, the expressions of your heart given in your hands, see, when you allow it to be. You got to experience that unity. Well, you don't got it nothing, but you experience that unity, then it's real. Then you're living it. And your hands become these instruments of life, and life will direct the flow through them, and you'll be able to share in ways through your hands, which is your heart in motion, like you've never dreamed of before. Why do you think people like myself, you know, we use hand expressions sometimes when we're talking to kind of add emphasis to it? That's the radiance of the energy of our grandpas, which is our heart, you know, bringing this rainbow of creation back into being all around it, because it does it magically with motions of the heart, which are self-explanatory, don't you see? It's kind of like the telemetry of life, man, you know. And see, then you can just like fold them up like this and just be totally communicated, totally centered in your creation. That's an act of appreciation. That's a nurturing, a sheltering, a providing for the grandmother heart inside of ourselves that replicates herself as our presence. Holy moly, Mother Trucker, I think Rocky and Bowinkle and Boris and Natasha have come to a point of, wow, awakening, man, and they're like having this little powwow right now back there with them folks at the campfire of love at the beginning of time, all circled around with the tribe. I always was hot for Natasha. I gotta admit it. I like them evil chicks, man. They rock my world, you know, but I'm there to provide the divine way, but it's kind of like the union between, you know, Satan and the angel. You know, it's kind of like that, you know, with me. That energy was always in me, and I couldn't help but be tempted by that way because I knew I was here to resolve it in some way. So you play with yourself a bit that way, you know. That was the experience with good and evil. You know, the polarized world, where there could be such a thing as that, you know. But it's just our perceptions, and, you know, so they become self-correcting as we go through this romance of unifying inside of ourselves. And babies, I'm not going to even go on to describe and explain what might happen after that in the world around you. You just got to know. Because if it happens this greatly inside, well, you can imagine what the ride's going to be like. I mean, how greatly we can transform things in just a second of time, man, whatever it takes, man. It's just that one moment, you know. Wow. And then the Ann Howe comes back into life, and people know why they're living it and shit. It's just a grooving place to be, man, and we just... But yeah, for many, it's so far beyond this reality, and they've become quite fixated in here, you know. You know, controlled. It's kind of dangerous in a sense, isn't it? Not really. You see, the most controlled beings have to be the most present. The ones that can endure that kind of shit, because, man, it's really tiresome to live a robotic life and be controlled by the energies of others and be that empty that you can be. It's really a tiresome thing. They try to make it look good, you know, on the screen because, you know, that's what you're supposed to emulate here. Become a controlled presence and look at all the luxury you can have and never enjoy. Talk about hell. See, every life here is the replication of hell in some form. So that by enduring that, we perfect ourselves into the receiving of that same aspect of paradise. They're reflective of one another. Only one's the upside down world, and one's the right side up world. And in the center is the heart that perceives it all. And that's where the union is. That's why we feel it in the heart. And that's why we feel it, in this union inside, up the center of our presence, of our person. We feel the unity, the radiance that goes out, not just in our molecular structure here, but into the structure of creation, the motion of life in motion, flowing through us quite naturally. So let's call ourselves what? The river of the given hearts? Shit like that? Hell yeah, it's a rock and roll reality. And we don't have to be all serious and heavy about it, just be expansive in it. Have you ever seen the man on the moon? Well, there's a lot of them up there, man. Another story for another day. Let the moon glow come your way in this great light of day. As you realize the reflective nature of the heart inside of yourself and how it really is coming back to you from all sides. And then you realize the coyote way, the tricky way, the way of deception, which what? Hones up the perception to the point where it can no longer be deceived. After we played every trick on ourselves in the book, there's no more to go, babies. That's the rock and the roll. See, that's the real university of life that we're all studying in. And the teacher, again, is the divine heart. And we're hot as hell for her, babies. Male or female, man. We'll be bilingual, by golly. Rainbows, remember, is the unity of color expressed through the purity of gold light, sunlight. Hey, now you're getting it right. Yeah, baby. When you learn to live with this flow, baby, remember what it is that is. See, nobody has to teach you anything. You already know. Just allowance. Let it flow. Yeah. That's the rock in the roll. The medicine of the earth is the medicine of the heart. It's tricky biz, but we've employed a lot of trickery here too, babies. We have. Both sides of the fence. The journey's been a jolly one. A jolly good chess game. The time of checkmate came a long time ago, babies. No people realized it at the time. Only a few, a handful. The way it always is, it's always kind of held in the background. The grander things. Even though they're right there visible in your face, they're not always seen for what they are. Except in the residual of reality as it continues, that moment expands into the more unifying direction and becomes a part of the greater consciousness of all of humans. No matter how isolated their tribe might be, you get it. That's the unity of the 100th monkey kind of thing, man. It really is. One person, and I've seen it done, and so have you. If you think about it, just in recent time, one person can have a tremendous influence here without even going on YouTube or Facebook or anything. One person alone in a cave on the side of a mountain. One person alone in a sea of humanity on the shores of time. Can so influence it because we put our person into that person. When we need to shift, maybe the gearing shifting right inside. So we unite a little energy in a one, and so that makes it a little stronger in a sense. So then it pulls the gear shift lever back and smoothly synchronizes the shift. You don't need no clutch. Keep this old 18-wheeler on the road, man, I'm telling you. We're flying across the stars in the spaceship love. It's actually called, Mother Eagle, the Eagle ship. Yeah, but I call it the spaceship love, just like I do my hubby hole here from which we radiate this truth into reality, Spaceship love. Well, that's you too, because each of us is a spaceship. And we've been traveling through our own space and time. See? Realizing this, as we radiate out into it, see, it's not a collapse anymore. It's an expansion of presence into everything that lives, so that this unity experience of one person, which feels and creates through feeling, is felt and resonated in all that lives. And the divine can appreciate the divine in its triangulated perception, so to speak, forevermore. Now don't let the glow of anything Stand in the way. Be the glow of everything. Meld with all that you see. Then you see the reality, the proof, the living proof, you know. It starts first in nature usually, but sometimes amongst humanity. It just depends on how we decide to form it. But since we opened these creative doors a few days ago, you know, it's changed the way things are done and the scores here. So you're going to see like some physical representations of this reality, transformation. I mean, just literally right before your eyes. You'll see things like coyotes and eagles habitating together and playing in the fields of life, as if they were the same life. I mean, it's a way of the animal kingdom of revealing its grand nature to us, which we kind of escaped along. And we were so crazily stupefied. So just let yourself go on that basis alone. We've lived in a stupor, an unconscious stupor that had conscious presence in it, yes. But not enough of it so as you notice. Notice the brutality. And you see exactly what I'm talking about. Since caveman days, it ain't changed. Except for now and how. And many of us remember times then in our genetic structure, our cosmic memories, where life came to conclusionary points like this before, and this race through time. And instead of going this way, it went that way, and we went down and came back as a handful again, and had to start all over again, forget everything and do it all over again, you know. And see, so some people are in fear of that happening. Some people think that's the righteous resignation of it, that it should be that way, you know. Well, it's a warped view. It's kind of a great misperception. It is, in a way, of death of that reality, as vast as, you know, us going through a similar disastrous change. Only the disaster is a triumph, because there is no real disaster in it. I mean, it's a letting go of a whole experiential reality that we've gained greatly from. Yes, absolutely given up on it, because we learned our lesson. So we merge, we meld with that life, and we then kind of erase the effects of time. We flow back through that time quite naturally, really again to that point where we unite around the campfire of love. Simple moments like that set us free. This is how we purify our nature and creation, and congratulate ourselves for the journey and experience we've undertaken here. And babies get the accolades of the whole universe, because we're setting them all free. Whatever dynamic of confusion existed here before comes forward now in clarity, because our mother's love is unmistakably our reality. It's real simple, don't you see? Live in the rainbow. You are the pot of gold, the treasure of life, expressing and experiencing all of this life through the glittery eyes of the rainbow. That's your heart. That's what this union inside brings forward from within, the awareness of that presence. Ain't it beautiful to be flying with Grandpa this morning, you know, soaring around a little bit, you know, flapping the wings every now and then just to give him a little exercise, eh? Just keep that flow underway, man. You know, you step into the hazy places to get it clear, babies. And you got it clear here on the Hazy Radio Network this morning with Grandpa Coyote, the Coyote tribe of angels and ancestors and ET presences, which are really angelics in motion. Baby, you're going to see so much as we expand outward into it. Because we bring that presence of creation with us as we expand, you see, that conscious awareness, that presence in life. And then I mean, when we expand, we share that with all this life we're expanding into, you see. That's transformation, babies, for real. It's not something some new ager came up with and Rockefeller financed in secret. It's a living reality given in a quiet and humble way on a tiny little obscure station called the Hazy Radio Network, from a program of love called the Coyote Medicine Show, from an old fart sitting on a mountain here in an earthship, grounded down in the reality. It's sailing so far above us already, man, you know. My heart is free, as is yours, you see. It's there we experience the true life that we live, rooted in this reality of organic way. We got that clear today, babies, didn't we? Yes, indeed, we continue to grow. As the medicine flow here from 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky, Grandpa Coyote in the spaceship love. Hey, this is where we take off and fly. And let's just keep it up, okay? Because I don't want to see any of you guys slacking off. You're such lazy... Oh, not really. Babies, hey, if I could take it easier, I would. I'm lazy like that, too. I like smoking marijuana and eating fried chicken and sitting by the fire, sipping on a mug of coffee, love. You know, I'm a primitive caveman in my heart, baby. I can't help it. Help me expand beyond that primitive nature, will you? Oh, we love you so here on the Hazy Radio Network. Grandpa, I just can't express it enough, baby. I sure do enjoy this time with you, babies. Thanks for being here. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. We got a whole bunch more show going on this Coyote Medicine Show on the Hazy Radio Network, you babies, the center of your universal heart right now. And how? And here to prove it to you, man, again, them glorious guys from Rainbow. Well, who else would do a number right now? I mean, our green room here is quite prodigious, wouldn't you say? I mean, it produces some of the greatest talents to ever live in the human way. Now, as we come back as angelics, we hear it in a different way. And the message is clear, dear. Triangulate, man. Ooh, yeah, that means unify. Because in the triangulation, the three is one. The eternal number that is. And it's not so lonely anymore. At least I don't think so. Oh, just when you were flying way up in the air there, soaring with the eagles and the angels and having such a great time and such a good approach to life, all of a sudden there's all that static, all that noise again, man. Where did that come from? Well, that's the interference from the universal heart, Sam, baby. Ooh, you need to fly on a ripple or two, don't you? Pay attention, kids. Get it right, man. Flow, babies. Don't just soar up there and be all drawn in. Let it all be drawn back out again. And flow, man. You know, you're the glow. You're like the wind, man. You flow in it. You are the wind. You share the wind of life with everyone, man, you know. Speaking of which, I'm thinking we're going to start a new YouTube channel. I'm thinking about, now somebody's going to have to work with me a little bit here because I put in a lot of hours already. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to start the Spirit Wind Productions channel over there on YouTube. And it'll be not just Grandpa stuff here from the medicine show and so forth, but it will be a seasoned variety of different performers out there from different parts of the world that I happen to personally admire and respect and find one particular message real entertaining for one reason or another. So you want to assist in that endeavor, you know where to get in touch with me, babies. You know, right here in the high reality of 9,000 feet high, the spaceship love. You got that guy, Grandpa Coyote. Yeah, he's the pilot. He's at the helm. Don't worry, I got, ages and ages of experience, man. I've been a camel jockey since I was 3. That's third life from the first reality, man. Kind of like third rock from the sun, and now we're having fun. See, this is a rockin' reality. It's about time y'all catch up and catched on. You know what I mean? This is where we party, for heck's sakes. Mother's here to help us celebrate our life, you know. Speaking of which, boy, there's a little doggy celebration going on out there. I'm going to have to go bring that little critter in here, that Obi-Wan Kenobi, before he shivers and freezes out there. Oh, it ain't too bad this morning. I think it's a balmy 35 or something. Sun is definitely a shining and a rising, and darlings, this is the day we've been waiting for, ain't it? Yeah, what day of the week is this anyway? Hell, I lose track now. Oh, it's Thrilling Thursday, man. Wow. Well, we've had a few thrills already, but you never know what's going to come along here on the Coyote Medicine Show, don't you know? I'm thinking, if these people choose to gather over here for this peace gathering that I've offered them as the Pope Mary Jane that I am, I've offered to sit down with these leaders from, or whatever they are, the different mutual combatants over there in the Oregonia area, and get them to come over here to Crestonia, and we'll sit down on the ground cross-legged and share a toke or two on the sacred Mary J in a sacred pipe, a vessel of love created right from the heart of the universe. And then we will, join hands and commune and share our tale from the heart and see what happens. See if we don't have some common energy there, some common ground, some place to come together right now. And how. But it's really as simple as just looking each other in the eye and saying, okay, that's you, that's I, that's us. And we're in this together. And we're not only going to work it out, we're going to make it the best it can be for everyone. Personally, now this is just a far-fetched thought and feeling, but, if you guys can extend your hearts a bit, you might be able to conceive of this at some point along the way. So here, let me throw another little part into the process from the mystical realm, okay? From the realm of your own sweethearts, what you're really looking for. I think we should put all those lands back in tribal hands. And let the chiefs and the chieftesses take care of the management of them. And, the ranchers can stay and so forth. Everybody can get along peacefully. But, there's not going to be a big need for cattle empires anymore because, well, shoot, we're shutting the slaughterhouses down and getting out of that business. I mean, the whole thing, the whole 3D thing, the idea that you got to eat anything, let alone kill to eat, going out the window, man. And like a lot of shit, it's dying a hard death, but it's dying just the same, man, Your total appetites change with your awareness, you see. And to be quite honest with you, you don't feed on food, you feed on energy, you see. And we already know that, we already live in that, but we haven't really understood that because we're conditioned right from the baby child part that we got to eat to live, and breathe and so forth, when the reality is life isn't so fragile and precarious as all that. But see, you got to live in it to be it and understand it. So I'm really not putting it out there saying, do without food. Hell no, man. Shit, I'm still a pagan old cowboy. Shit, I like my gritty food, my coffee and gritty taters and eggs in the morning, whatever, you know what I mean? I particularly like cooking on a campfire when I can, but not something I want to do all the time anymore because I'm old and lazy and I like, a little comfort too, man. Shit, you soften up when after you've rode a few trails, man, driven a few spaceships in your dreams to far-off places and participated in incredible moments with other planetary reality. Oh, my God. You wouldn't believe the orgiastic nature of creation. Well, whoops, I'm revealing a bit too much there. Back. You wouldn't believe how loving this universe can be when you start to see it really, naturally, what it is. Not just little stars glittering in the sky or the little doggy barking at the door impatiently. Poor kid, he's so spoiled. So I better go take care of him, baby. Just let it happen. Let this charm stay in you. See, don't push it away. Embrace it today. You understand it that way. You can do that. There's nothing to fear. Not the Nazi regime, not anything. There's nothing to fear. There are no Nazis here. We've been dealing with energies and powers. And we've dealt with them equitably in the background of life, and everything is cool. And there's a general settling down of energies here no matter what. These combatants will not combat. Enough is enough. The heart of the mother has cried forward and said, okay, kids, time to come in now. Playtime's over. Oh, and don't be throwing them bombs at each other. Shit, put those things away before I spat your hands, man. Of course, she speaks it through Grandpa today, so you get it underway. It's far better to hear it from me, because I am Grandpa, and Grandpas are easy, man. They'll give you anything if they got it, and if they don't, they'll probably go steal it for you, man. Oh, I ain't quite that creepy. But I would be if I had to be. I do have a little Robin Hood energy in me, so watch out. If we go to Mad Max, I'm going to be the Mad Robin Hood again already, man. I'll tell you what, the Sheriff of Nottingham ain't seen nothing yet, especially Maid Marian, man. When she starts dancing around, shit, you can steal anything, man. Oh, come on, I'm just making fun of the energy, kids. But it's true. All of us has that element, that Robin Hood element is in it. Even the most mischievous and meanest of old bastards has that Robin Hood thing in them. Don't you know? See, so we start to appreciate and nurture that side of ourselves. We might find a different way to flow, than what we've been doing. Goodness, I tell you, we've been beating on up each other like crazy just for a few lousy dollars or yens or barrels of oil or whatever. I mean, just this total insanity, you know, shit. No wonder we have wars, man. We all don't feel like we can ever get enough. Empty black holes? Well, guess what? You're donut holes, man. You're the center of creation. The donut of creation surrounds you like a big old hula hoop. And you have to juggle it on your hips a lot, too, because we like watching you do that. Everybody likes the hula dancer with the hula hoop, don't we? Hell yeah, man. Shit. The Polynesian reality lives in our heart just as much as any other. You understand, see, babies? We're together in all of it. These cultures are colorful expressions given in the tapestry of life. You know, they're just ways and beings of getting certain energies through some trying times to where we come to graduation time now and step back into the cities and the clouds and all that shit and start being angels again. You know what I mean? And we don't have to die to do it. We just realize that's what we are already and understand that. And shit, it just happens, man. Just lay back, relax. Like I said, get yourself in an easy chair. Get that album. Every good boy deserves favor, and they spell it the British way, weirdos. Anyway, every good boy deserves favor, and kick back and listen to that one. Let the moodies take the blues away, and rise you up into paradise in the ways by showing you the life you've already lived and where it leads. Kind of in the same way Grandpa does here, in a little more roundabout way, because I'm a coyote. I can't help it, man, you know. I just have to dance around it a bit. You know, a tree was meant to dance around besides being a huggable. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys think that's fruity. Hugging trees? Oh, come on, man, I'd rather cut it down. No, you don't. Not anymore, see? Look in your heart. You understand that tree, man? You don't want to be cutting that one. Or any of the rest of them either, man. Trees were meant to be here to breathe into life into the atmosphere, and they do. The spirit wind flows through, and all that energy comes through, radiating off those leaves and needles and boughs and branches and blossoms and stuff, man, you know. It's complete renewal. It's transformative energy, and it's rooted where? In the earth. And its roots can be as grandly deep as its branches are as grandly high, or even more so, you know. Ours in particular, as the tree of life, go clear to the center of the earth. The molten heart of the sun, which is inside the mother one, man. I tell you what, we're catching on, babies. You know, it's starting to meld the realities. Because you're melding inside. See, there's this divine feminine and masculine, as we've called them, but they're not really that at all. They're dancers, exotic dancers in the game of life. And they do it for love, not for money. They do it out of complete respect for one another. And they dance and journey together inside of you. Because that's what they're meant to do. Well, we resolved that one quick enough, didn't we, baby? Shit, ain't you glad you're sitting under the sun here with a chosen one? Oh, yeah, Grandpa Coyote, chosen for what? To share love and radiant rock and roll with your heart and soul. Day after day here in that Coyote way, Monday through Friday, wouldn't you say? The rap and roll that soothes your soul, the rock that gets it out of that, out of hawk. You betcha, man. We paid the pawnbroker off, and now you're free, baby. So just be real. That's all I ask of you, man. Just be real. Even if they frame you up like they do Cheech and Chong every now and then, or whatever, or like they did to Willie Nelson a few times too. Poor old Willie. Got to send him good vibes, babies. He's part of our tribe, man. He's one of the elders of it now, man, and he's having some challenges, so... You know, he's used to that kind of stuff. He's a real cowboy, so let's send him some radiant love while we're anticipating the dance of life to continue in a beautiful way. Here on this beautiful and thrilling Thursday, where else but the Hazy Radio Network. HazyRadio.com, we got it on. Yeah, and you got it on HazyRadio.com. Thank goodness, eh? Now we got it underway. Let's get out there and play, eh?